Exactly 7 months ago, there were theories of Boruto escaping time to bypass Eida's clairvoyance. The theory was later assumed as weak when Eida decided to not trace Boruto. But a new hint has now appeared in the second chapter of Two Blue Vortex, which has yet again revived the time travel possibility. Not only that, there is something said by Boruto in the time skip scene which makes it a lot more plausible. So let's find out more. The Two Blue Vortex manga is constantly making epic reveals to keep the whole fandom anticipated. From the fate of Sasuke to the similarity between Boruto's new form and Shibai Otsutsuki, Kishimoto has been cooking very well with his new manga. But the one mystery that stood out the most was the possibility of Boruto going to the past to train and gain knowledge. The panel that acts as the strong basis to this theory comes from Naruto chapter 687, where a mysterious figure can be seen behind Naruto and Obito. The dialogue of this panel perfectly matches the circumstances faced by Boruto, and the figure is apparently wearing a cloak as well. For those saying it might be Sakura, a few panels ago she was seen in a kneeling posture with Obito due to the high gravitational force of the dimension. Even in the anime she was shown to be sitting, while this mysterious figure is standing straight. The theory went popular when everyone was thinking of ways for Boruto to bypass the clairvoyance of Eida, which can track him down anytime. However, it lost its hype when the cyborg girl decided to not reveal Boruto's location to Kawaki. But what if this plot point was just a way for Kishimoto to divert our minds from this peak foreshadowing? Could it be that Boruto has gone back in time before appearing before Code in the first chapter? Well, there comes a scene in the second chapter where he asks Code to retreat, as he has no idea about the true horrors of Ten Tails. It's pretty interesting because back when they fought for the first time, Code was the one who was enlightening Boruto about the Karma and the Otsutsuki powers. The way Boruto warned him about the Grime army makes it clear that the tables have turned now. He has somehow gained a lot more knowledge than Code in just a period of 2 years, which is pretty impressive. But how exactly does he know about the horrors of Ten Tails if he hasn't even seen one before? Well, there are actually two possibilities which deal with the different points of time in the story. It's either the future vision of Boruto, or he has went into the past to enlighten himself. When he talked about the dangers of Ten Tails to Code, it felt like he knew what the future will be like if things continued like this. The worst possible future could be something that he foresaw with the ability displayed in chapter 75. But what's more interesting is the possibility of Boruto entering the past to change the future. The way he said to Kawaki if it was the only possible outcome also hints at the same. He has been trying to change the future by making changes to the timeline, but he ends up on the only possible outcome every time. The Ten Tails knowledge that he reflects in the latest chapter also hints at him witnessing the fourth great ninja war by going to the past. This enhances the possibility of this mysterious figure being Boruto. He might be gathering intel on all the important events of the Shinobi history, and Kishimoto has also hinted this with the dialogue of this mysterious panel. It seems like Boruto knows how the Ten Tails looks like, and the fact that he mentioned it was easy to deal with them if Code hadn't done any modifications proves that he knows a lot about these creatures. The Jubi is nothing but a huge manifestation of chakra that can be easily absorbed by an Otsutsuki or the Karma. But just because Code played the smart card by mixing the iron from his blood in them, they have turned into the most horrific beings who can lead to a horrible future. So what are the odds of Boruto actually going into the past to stop the worst future from happening? The subtle hints for this possibility includes Boruto going missing for 2 years and Code not being able to find him even after searching everywhere. He must have looked for him relentlessly at every place where he possibly could go. But since he failed so miserably that he decided to invade Konoha, it's pretty clear that something is off with Boruto's disappearance. There are theories of him going to the moon or the outer space for his training, but there is no way for him to gain so much intel on Ten Tails there. The mysterious figure of Kaguya's dimension and his acceptance of Konoha's destruction as the only possible outcome hint at him trying to change the predestined future. He must have went into the past to see the Ten Tails in action and all the horrors that come with it. The fact that he knows Code's modification has made them the biggest bad news indicates that he has done a lot of research on them in these 2 years. It has also been revealed that he escaped from his previous fight with Code after managing to destroy one of his eyes. What it seems to me is that he escaped time to witness the Shinobi war himself in order to become more capable of defeating Code next time. An escape of time would also mean that he had unlimited time to train, which explains his Uzuhiko ability and how he claims to kill Code effortlessly. One wild possibility that popped in my mind deals with the Uzuhiko ability having something to do with his grandfather Minato. This power might be just Boruto applying wind release to his body, similar to the lightning release chakra mode used by 4th Raikage. The technique translates to Uzumaki Prince, which means it could have something to do with his forefathers. He might have mastered to apply wind release on his body, making him extremely fast like his grandfather. And if the time travel theories are correct, then it could be that Boruto has learned this power by seeing his grandfather train in the past. The way his expressions are completely lifeless hint at him witnessing horrific things over the time skip period. So it could be that he has witnessed people dying in the past, especially in the 4th Great War because of the Ten Tails, which explains why he seems so mundane upon returning. So now that we know there are tons of hints suggesting Boruto has come back from the past, what if it's actually the other way around? Take a look at this panel and how Ikimoto has emphasized the worst possible future. It might be a reference to the destruction from the prologue scene, but there is no hint at present which indicate Kawaki going into his villain arc. The grime with the Rinnegan referred to him as an Otsutsuki, and he expressed his despise for being recognized as a celestial being. This could mean that the future Boruto has referenced here is not the one that was shown to us in the prologue scene. He has only fought code with the Ten Tails army once, so how does he know about their capabilities and the terrific future that they shall be leading to? The answer to this question lies within the time-related power of Momoshiki, which is now utilized by Boruto. It's the same power which granted him access to the future vision ability when he foresaw the events of omnipotence a day before. By this time in this series, Boruto must have mastered most powers of Momoshiki, along with unlocking his own unique and brand new power. So it's not out of question for Boruto to foresee the worst possible future that he mentioned, and now he's trying to stop it at all costs. The way he talked to Sarada and asked her to survive also hints at him foreseeing a future where everyone dies. The reason he told Sarada to stay alive is because he's trying to change what's written in the stars. However, as prophesied by Toneri, all these events are bound to reach a bitter end very soon. In order to understand this messed up situation of Boruto, we can draw some examples from the fate of Eren Yeager, the protagonist of Attack on Titan. He also foresaw a future that he tried to change, but just when he realized it's impossible to rewrite destiny, he became a completely different person and started the rumbling. Boruto right now is trying his best to change the future that he foresaw, but little does he know it's not an easy task to change what's written in the fate. This yet again takes us to his line from the future, where he asks Kawaki if it was the only possible outcome. The only possible outcome here is actually the event that's predestined to happen, no matter how many times someone tries to avoid it. A crazy thing that might happen in the future is the possibility of the prologue scene being an outcome of the efforts that Boruto has taken to stop the worst possible future that he mentioned to Code. The reason I think this theory makes sense is because there is no reason for Kawaki to hate the Shinobi system whatsoever. He only wants to eliminate the threats that endanger his beloved father figure. The only time he expressed his concern over the Shinobis in the story was when Sarada tried to protect Boruto. He believes Shinobis are destined to die an early death, which could also mean that he has killed all of them in the future. But still there is no core plot point which would explain why he ends up hating ninjas at first place. So is it possible for Boruto's time travel to change the destiny of Kawaki? Did he actually went from a Shinobi protector to a Shinobi destroyer due to a change in timeline by Boruto? You all must be familiar with the meme where a time traveler moves a single chair and the timeline ends messing up. Something similar could happen in the case of Kawaki, whose viewpoint on the world could shift dramatically by a small change in the timeline by Boruto. The first possibility has something to do with Boruto returning to the past to stop Eida from triggering the omnipotence. In this way, it would be pretty obvious for Kawaki to destroy the Shinobi world, as they all would be supporting Boruto, the vessel of a monster whose death penalty was exterminated, cause he is the son of the Hokage. This is why Boruto asked Kawaki if this was the only possible outcome. It is also very likely that he has already seen this part of the future with his foresight power as well, or maybe he is confusing the doings of Kawaki with the actions of the Ten Tails. He believes Ten Tails is about to lead to the worst future, while in reality it might be Kawaki who's about to have a change in heart. The next possibility discusses the same scenario, but it has more to do with Boruto's impact on Kawaki rather than him spoofing the timelines. Right now Boruto has made his mind to kill Code if he refuses to help him. I think if the plot armor somehow goes into Boruto's favor, he will technically become the savior of Konoha and a hero in the eyes of everyone. This would make Shikamaru and the others think, why would such a person kill Naruto at first place? While we know omnipotence won't let them think reality has been rewritten. However, implanting new memories into people is not out of question. So if Boruto is able to make people believe that he's on Konoha's side and hasn't killed Naruto, chances are they might give him a chance to prove himself. And this is where Kawaki would be triggered. He waited all these years for Boruto to show up, only for the Shinobi world to forgive him. This might trigger a butterfly effect that would eventually lead to Kawaki hating this system and deciding to end it once for all. This development of Kawaki would be inspired by Ishiki, whose karma is the reason for his glow up. He might slowly inherit more traits from Ishiki, and this explains his determination to exterminate the Shinobi age once for all. He won't forgive them for forgiving Boruto, who had been accused of killing his father in this reality. So why doesn't Kawaki want to kill Boruto anymore in the future if he motivated him to destroy everything. Well, the way Boruto claims he can kill Code easily already ranks him above Naruto and Sasuke. Code without limiters is more powerful than Jigen, so if Boruto says he can kill him effortlessly, it could be that he's as powerful as Ishiki at present. This means that Kawaki won't be able to kill him even if he tries to. So in order to make things less complicated, he decided to send him to Naruto instead of killing him. A few things that this chapter cleared about the time skip fight include: Code and his army has been dealt with, the worst future Boruto predicted will soon become a reality, and there might be a bloodbath considering the way Boruto asked Sarada to survive. It is also reflected in the genres of the Two Blue Vortex manga. The comedy and fantasy genres presented in the original Boruto manga no longer appear in Two Blue Vortex, so we can expect a lot of people to die till we reach this point in the story. The most difficult phase for the Kama duo is going to be their war against the Grime army. There was a superior Grime with Renengan who crushed Kawaki by smacking him down. But do you know how this 10 Tails minion becomes so powerful at first place? Well, it's probably because the Shinjutsu of Code that he used to divide the 10 Tails actually belongs to Shibai Otsutsuki. The claw marks could have evolved the Grimes into more powerful beings, which explains how this one awakened the Renengan. The reason behind their Otsutsuki hatred is pretty simple and interesting too. The 10 Tails are used as a progression medium by Otsutsukis to evolve themselves. Once the divine fruit is cultivated, the Otsutsuki consumes it to become more powerful and they get reduced to nothingness. This cruel system, which leads to their death, explains their hatred for these beings. It would be interesting to witness their character development considering all this injustice that their species has went through. Boruto and Kawaki might also have their own viewpoints on the situation of the 10 Tails, and it could lead to their union against the Otsutsukis. The reason for Kawaki's shinobi hatred might have something to do with the ninjas having chakra, which stems from the alien race. But that's a topic for another video, so subscribe to not miss it. Also check out this video for some more amazing theories. I will see you next time.